Maria Bartiromo, the Fox Business host who pretends to know what she's talking about when it comes to the American economy, when it comes to markets, when in actuality she's just a shill. She's the propaganda arm for Trump, MAGA, Republicans, the GOP, conservatives in the government. She had a segment on her show in which one of her reporters spoke to the owner of a car dealership. And this owner says that Trump's tariffs are now raising the prices of the trucks he's trying to sell. And he actually had one that was going to be sold, and now the customer is backing out because he doesn't want to pay the 25% price increase. And Maria Bartiromo's reaction to this dealership owner's interview is ridiculous, but it's on brand for someone who, again, like I said, is a shill for Donald Trump.
Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram.
Yeah.
Impact.
Dramatic. I sold order for a customer, $80,000 truck. It's $100,000 now. So he's not going to buy the truck. It's going to sit on my lot at the higher interest rates we're paying right now for floor plan, and nobody's going to buy the truck because it just had a $20,000 price increase.
Right. Kelley Blue Book will put the number up. They say the average vehicle will go up by about $3,000. Does it sound right to you?
No, it will not. We don't have the broad stroke. We don't have the linear, the tight strokes. But to me, it's a 25% tariff. So that affects our parts that come from over these countries, and a whole bunch of our cars.
And you've been basing your business model on free trade, basically. This is what the American Automakers Policy Council says, Maria, in response to this. They say our American automakers invested billions in the U.S. to meet the requirements of the current free trade agreement. They shouldn't have their competitiveness undermined by tariffs that'll raise the cost of building vehicles in the U.S. and stymie investment in the American workforce while competitors from the outside of North America benefit. The German, there's no tariff on the German cars coming in now.
No, they're
Japanese.
They're going to be okay. But think about it. We built our business around that. The OEMs built their business around that, and now it changes on a dime. And we can't build a $4 billion plant overnight in the United States. So I think building in the United States is great. I think enhancing the participation from the other countries on the other things, but this is pretty radical.
I hear you. There you go, Maria, where the rubber meets the road here.
All right, great. Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, exactly. Jeff, thank you. Thank you so much. Jeff Flock at the Dodge Ram plant. Not plant. It's not a plant, Chris. They're selling cars. Thank you, dealership. But you know what? Let me ask you this, okay?
Yes.
How many Dodge Rams do you see driving around Europe? Okay. How many Dodge Rams do you see driving around India? I mean, not many, I bet. Why? Because they don't buy our cars. And that's what President Trump is trying to change. Maybe Dodge should start building them here and selling them here.
Maria Bartiromo there screaming at the camera saying, Dodge should make their cars here and that would solve this issue. Maria, it took me like 10 seconds to do a quick Google search and realize that Dodge makes their cars in Michigan. Some of the cars are made in Mexico because of the USMCA deal that Trump signed, which allowed Mexico to build massive plants. But Maria is just clearly lying here. Of course, she has to deflect. Again, she has to be the propaganda arm for Donald Trump. She has to be the shill. She has to deflect and distract from these tariffs, increasing the prices on Americans. And it's really funny that these Republicans for years say, the Democrats, they're so elite. They don't really want to hear from the real Americans. And yet, when a real American, like as capitalist as you can get, right? A car dealership owner is like, hey man, this is terrible. I was going to sell a car for 80. Now it's 100 and the customer doesn't want it. These tariffs are, they're terrible for my business. You don't know what you're talking about. Dodge, make your cars here. What? Like, of course, nothing these Republicans say is genuine. Oh, the Democrats are out of touch with real Americans. Oh, really? Really? Those Democrats who are like trying to expand healthcare for people, right? The Democrats were like trying to feed kids in schools. Right. They're so out of touch. But as soon as the rubber hits the road, right? Republicans are in the Senate, in Congress. They've got the presidency. They are enacting terrible policies that are hurting Americans. And you've got a guy like a car dealership owner saying how bad it is. It's no, you don't know what you're talking about. It's only going to be a $3,000 increase according to Kelley Blue Book. And he's like, look, man, what? I'm the owner of this dealership. I'm telling you that it's going to be a $25,000 increase for these Dodge Rams. What are you talking about? Oh, well, I guess we'll have to see. What? Republicans don't give a damn about real Americans. Even the people, see, this is really symbolic of even those people like the car dealership owner who's probably making millions of dollars a year. Even these people in that kind of income range, they think that like, yeah, these Republicans, like they're really on my side. They'll cut some of my taxes, which they probably will. But when it comes to like actually listening to them, no. You don't have a voice unless you're willing to shell out. Like, I think Donald Trump was charging $5 million for one-on-one meetings at Mar-a-Lago. $1 million to attend one of his dinners. I don't think this car dealership owner could afford that. It's the projection. The Democrats are the elitists. They don't care about real hardworking Americans. And yet they're charging $5 million a pop to meet with Donald Trump. It's also why they're not hosting any more town halls. Because the real Americans who showed up to protest Elon Musk and Doge just indiscriminately cutting federal programs, those people were painted as paid actors by Republicans. No, they're not real Americans, right? They're paid. It's fake. It's phony. And so we're just not going to have any more town halls. When you really sift through all of the nonsense and the rhetoric from Trump and these Republicans, they're such cowards. They're so weak. They're so small. They're so pathetic. And that's why they go on the attack all the time, because they know that they're weak, pathetic, and small. They know how big of cowards they are. And Ted Lieu talked about these Republicans refusing to hold town halls during a press conference at the Capitol this morning.
In 2017 and 2018, House Republicans ran away from the voters and didn't do any town halls. How did that work out for them?
And that's really the strategy here that Democrats have to take, being in the minority in the Senate and in Congress. It's okay, Republicans, you've talked a big game about cutting the size of the federal government for a long time. And now you have the power to do it. And you're doing so poorly that the people are turning against you. And they are going to be incredibly motivated during the midterm elections. And you're not going to have Donald Trump out there who tried to overthrow the Capitol and then spent 4 years just complaining and campaigning on lies. No, you're going to have 2 years of Donald Trump with terrible policy after terrible policy, impacting hundreds of thousands, if not millions of Americans' lives. And people are going to be livid. So time will tell what will happen during the midterms, but just from what we've seen already, it is looking very bad for Republicans. Let me know what your reflections are down in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe to Reflect Politics if you haven't already. My name is Brendan Plank. See you in the next video.